Jack says, I have t-shirt placebo. I've never played in this shirt, so if I lose, that's why. Rezears AppJack t-shirt placebo says, Rezears says it's a thing. Always wear a Tommy shirt in RLCS days. Really? Interesting. I've never noticed that. Did you guys notice that Jack's always wearing the same style of shirt in RLCS? Although, wait a minute, don't they wear the Dignitas jacket? Maybe he's got one on underneath it. I've never noticed that myself. I'll have to keep an eye out for it. Apparently Jack new shirt. He's really committed to this new shirt placebo. That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Day 1 RLCS, Johnny. Day 2 and 3 obs have to cameras use the dig shirt. Ah. So day 1 of RLCS you don't have to. Got it. I understand. Okay. Players these days, the players are so patient. They just wait to be told to join. Back in my day, back in the early days of casting 1v1 show matches, the players joined whenever they wanted. We definitely didn't have admin mode. If there was a problem, we'd have to just restart the lobby and manually set the score to what it was. And for those of you who are real OGs, you'll remember that we also didn't used to have a boost in Spectator, so you'd have to guess who got the boost in certain exchanges. Like in moments where the boost actually doesn't visually appear before somebody picks it up, you'd have to just figure out who got it based on the movement. They were the good old days. Always enjoyed that. Nice interception by Jack, by the way. That was fantastic. Turning the ball around, taking it right back into the net. Yeah, we've got a best of 5 here. I think Jack is a favorite, definitely, but Rezears is a threat. He is absolutely a threat. I think Rezears is a threat to anyone. I've said this before about him, and I think he's kind of stayed in this category for me. He's a player who can beat anyone on his day, but he's not consistent yet. Well, definitely not consistent enough yet to play close to his best every time he plays. Whereas players like Jack, players like Khaled, players like AJ, you know what you're going to get. Whenever they play, you know exactly what is in store. Even players like Rezears kind of fall into that category where their baseline level is so good that you don't really have to worry about them pulling up and just getting slaughtered. But Rezears sometimes just can't get the mechanics working the way he wants, and that really, I think, does damage to his confidence. It limits what he's comfortable doing. So he's making those improvements. He's trying to raise the baseline level of his kind of floor that he's got as an individual. As soon as he can do that, I think he will skyrocket to the upper echelon. He'll be right in the top tier of 1v1 players. Well, if he can do that, if he can find a way to be consistently close to his best. You don't need to be consistently peaking. That's not possible. It's called a peak for a reason. It's not something you can do consistently. But as soon as he gets to add a bit more consistency to his game, he's going to be a monster. We've all seen what he can do when he's on form. And if he does show up here, Jack might be in trouble. Should be close. I've seen them play a bunch on Jack's channel. I know that they run into each other in ranked quite a lot. And I'm fairly certain that Jack is usually the winner there. But okay, there's an open net for Jack to miss, of course, as he remains 1 goal behind. And Rezears shows him how it's done. 3-1. He scores from a similar position into the other end of the field. Yeah, he is definitely going to blame that one on the new shirt. That was a new shirt open net miss. Oh my days, Daft. Thanks for another £100 donation. I'm guessing that's another prize. Oh, it is another prize pool. Let's get the message. You're being far too kind today. We've already had a £200 prize pool. Now we got 100 for Rezears AppJack. I'll tell him I'll try and remember to tell them after a goal goes in. You might be noticing, I'm not wrong about the Furia decal. Are you guys seeing how fast Rezears looks today as he dusts Jack to the play once again? This is a speedy decal. You know, Dignitas decal is definitely one of the faster ones, and I do credit them for making a colorful decal, not just black and white decals. But out of all the black and white decals, I think Furia is the best one. It's definitely my personal favorite, and I'm not paid to say that. I just like the way it looks, and I like the way it plays. And I do like the team. I like the players. So it's a win-win-win-win-win. Is this GC? Yeah, some are about that. Yeah, some are about that. Fantastic controlled aggression by Rezears here as he forces AppJack back once again. And that accidental flip is going to cost him a possession play. And Jack just heard Rezears flip away from the ball, so he didn't rush the setup for this air dribble bump. Rezears somehow avoids him. Decided to go high on the air dribble bump save. Looked dangerous, and he made it work. Now Rezears controlling the back corner yet again. ApparentlyJack's trying to position more aggressively, force Rezears to make plays earlier on. He knows that he doesn't have a lot of time left, given the fact that this is a very low scoring game. For 1v1 this long into the game. Rezears turns and challenges with confidence. Drills himself straight through the ball and keeps in control as well. So lots of flick behind the pre-jumping Jack to put himself up 4-1. He's just been a very consistent player, which is what we asked of him for this whole series. He's delivered in game number 1. Just a minute to go now. Jack comes in for the demo. He's got no boost, but he makes it work. Rezears let his guard down briefly, and that's all Jack needed to score. I mean, Rezears looked like he saw him coming, but he must have been thinking to himself, how is Jack coming at me when he absolutely has no boost to play with here? What is he thinking? But Jack lands the demo and shows Rezears it was a smart play all along. Jack side on to the play. Saves the shot, but lands inside the net. Oh, Rezears has missed the boost steal, though. That's a big mistake. Could have had full control. Instead, he's wide open for another demo. Jack's caught him twice in a row, and he's cut this goal lead down to 1. Now, the first one was perhaps a momentary lapse in concentration. That one was a mechanical misplay. Rezears drives past the boost, and he's tried to wave dash and get back to the ball. He's bumped Jack into it. Jack is on track for another goal, but Rezears dives out of the way, but not too far. Stays in line with the ball. And for his second time this game, puts a stunning denial on an air dribble bump. Jack still with another chance to get one. A third time lucky. He makes it stick. 3 demo goals in a row. Jack gonna be making everybody cringe all around the world, but not me. I'm thriving. I love it. Part of the game. Oh, that's a good boost steal. Jack's maybe going to win the game right here. He's forced Rezears back. This is going to be a monstrous shot, and it's good. 1 second to go. Jack leads. That brief trip up on the play, combined with the boost grab, was all Jack needed to open up a monstrous bounce dribble. Now, he's delayed the kickoff, and it hasn't actually worked out all that well. Rezears will have a decent chance to keep this one up in the air, and he does so. He's going to go all in. No doubt. With the ceiling shot, Jack gets in the way and confirms the dub. What a game. Unbelievable comeback from Jack. The bumps and the demos were what did it. Actually, it was mainly the demos. I think the bumps were pretty well avoided by Rezears, but even after dodging Jack's air dribbled bump attempt, followed by a pop bump attempt, the third one connected with him. It landed true, and it was followed up by a devastating kickoff win. Oh, I forgot to tell him about the prize pool. My mistake. I mean, the end of the game there was just far too exciting. It looked like they were sweating pretty hard for that game anyway, so I don't think they're going to be too upset that they've not been informed. Kings back to next to 66 month tier 1. How are you doing, man? Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Really enjoyed the LAN, but missed streaming. With the World Championship being a 2-week event instead of a 1-week event or a 1.5-week event, I'm absolutely going to try and get some streams in while I'm away. But yeah, no confirmation as of yet what that's going to look like. And until Worlds, I'm going to try and stream as much as I can. Because I know I won't be able to do as much streaming, if any, when I'm away for the World Championship of RLCS. Yeah, the people who are typing cringe are just memeing. It's not. They're not actually cringing. There's no way that people watch my stream and cringe at air dribble bumps. Like, this is the wrong stream to try and you know, find that audience. You're not gonna find people who genuinely cringe at air dribble bumps in my channel. I mean, before Jack landed one, Rezears saved 2 of them, so it's clearly not the unstoppable move it once was. Many players have shown that it is counterable. There are many different ways that you can counter the air dribble bump. You can try and bump the player who's flying at you. You just have to make sure that they're not supersonic for that to work. You can even try and fake a jump, wait for them to fly past you and then make a save, or you can get in front of their bump or over the top of their bump and then just tap the ball as they miss you by a hair's width. Rezears off to another decent start. Spies Jack's early challenge. Knew that all he needed here was height on the play. No need to be too risky with the placement. No need to be too risky with the finish. Big kickoff win for Jack. Rezears seemingly weak on the inside there. Jack pushes it right through him. I'll have to wait for a non-direct kickoff spawn to see if Jack decides to try and get a similar result from the next one. Fake drive-by demo there by Jack. Rezears called the bluff on it, but didn't have too much in the way of options afterwards. He's forced very high by Jack's early challenge as well. It's still a great position for Rezears, but it's a tough one. He's having to use a lot of boost just to threaten a shot on target, and it was not a shot that Jack would have been all that scared of. Rezears has done well though. Perfect recovery, catch, and a piece of control as he collects the ball in the back corner. Rezears with the early flick. Jack hiding behind the ball there. Rezears flicking early just in case a reverse challenge was coming his way. As you can see, it's never a bad idea to flick early in a close game. But what is a bad idea is jumping past the ball without making contact. Jack maybe thinking Rezears is going to go for this, and he jumps in the way. Rezears completely fakes him, doesn't play the ball at all. Makes Jack look pretty silly with his little floaty floppy play. Rezears a lot better on the inside of the kickoff that time. Conceded a kickoff goal two ago with that exact same position. Now with a quick turnaround in the back corner, air dribbles in his fourth goal of the game. But Jack just not respecting Rezears' ball chase there. Got underneath the ball, thought Rezears would be forced to back down, but Rezears could see quite clearly Jack couldn't play it from where he was. Jack thought about shooting there, but knew Rezears was retreating. Instead takes his time. Oh, he almost nailed the flick from point blank range. Still recovers, but Rezears is in an advantageous spot here. Jack shuts him down as the elaborate flick took too long to set up for the German. But again, Rezears able to deny the pop bump from Jack, whether it's an air dribble bump or a pop bump. Rezears has a pretty good record of saving them. It's the off the play demos that have been more troublesome for him. The random demos in the midfield. Jack actually assisted Rezears there. Rezears declines to take the free goal. Both players missing an open net each now between the two games. Jack's power shot wouldn't have made it even if it was on target. Rezears easily catches up to it, quickly turns around. Jack's way side onto the play here. Didn't want the air dribble bump to be coming right at him. Left his net open briefly, and the slow air dribbling Rezears wasn't sure quite what to do. Couldn't get the reset shot quickly enough. Now Jack was clutch in the closing stages of game number one. Rezears, it's so key that he stays ahead here, stays with him. Doesn't allow Jack to surprise him with demos off the ball as we approach the final minute of the game. Jack with pretty much the worst bounce he could have hoped for there. Too far off the wall to start the air dribble, and not a ball he could wait for to settle as well. But just like the last game, Jack catches Rezears napping in open play and demos him, then turns to score an open net. He did this at the end of game one as well. This is something that Rezears has got to try and deny. He should see this coming. And now, to make matters worse, it's not even a demo goal to close a goal gap, it's a demo goal to tie. One that Rezears had no way of stopping. Jack completely commits for the bump. Looks like he might have made contact as Rezears lands in the net, but Rezears gets a bit of payback and seals the boost in his own back corner. Jack thought he had it. An early challenge for Jack though, and a great bounce off the back wall will put him 1 goal ahead. Rezears once again caught unawares, this time not by a demo, but by an early challenge. 1 goal advantage for Jack. He's just been better in the closing stages of both games. Well, what's Rezears got in the tank for what might be the last kickoff of the game? He pushes it to the outside. Jack bounces off it. High flick will force Jack into his net. Not the best landing by Jack either. Rezears can continue to pepper shots on net. That second one leaves a lot to be desired. Jack's going to stick with it. He sees Rezears coming, lifts the ball over him. That is a composed and a correct finish of the game for Jack with just a few seconds left. Rezears had no choice but to go, and Jack sees it coming. He says, "Yo, I'm sorry, forgot I had scrims now. Unlucky. It's only a best of 3. GG's, Jack." Well, Jack will take it because that means he gets £100. He didn't even know. I forgot to tell him, but he'll be delighted. He's just gone home. Well, he's probably already home, but he's going to stay home. £100 richer. That's dinner, and a nice one at that. On Daft. I'll be back at Riyadh. See you there. Oh, that's sick. Yo, Rezears going to be at Riyadh with Heat. Wait, who's Heat again? I think Jack's going to ask the same question. I'm about to check myself. Who's Heat? Oh, it's Parka Faris. That's Juicers. Oh, that's awesome. So Rezears and Jack are going to maybe get a chance to run it back in Riyadh. Maybe a best of 1 as part of a crew battle. Maybe a sneaky show match at some point. But either way, appreciate them both for swinging by and for playing.